I'm covering keyword research and specifically how it applies to Yoast SEO, how you can apply it to Yoast SEO so that you can get maximum results and ranking potential for all of your posts. But first, if you're new, I'm Sandra from Conversion Minded, and I help bloggers and entrepreneurs build an online business that they love through digital marketing. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you here is basically what Yoast SEO is. It's a plugin for WordPress, and you would install it the same way that you install any other plugin. If you don't already have it installed, you'd want to go up here under Add New, and then you can just come over here, search for it. You'd enter in Yoast SEO, hit Enter, and then you will see it right here. And mine's already active, but if you don't have it installed, you can just go ahead and install it and then follow the prompts to activate it, and you'll be all set. Once you do that, you'll see it in your list of installed plugins. It'll be all the way down at the bottom here, and one of the things that I love about Yoast SEO is that these guys are always updating this plugin, so you know you're always getting something that's going to be compatible with your WordPress and the best tool out of this that you possibly can. Once you also install it, you're going to see SEO here on the left-hand side. I would go ahead and go through this. The thing that I really pay attention to the most is social. You're going to want to add your social accounts to that. I'll show you that quickly. You want to add all of your social accounts here, and this is just a heads up. This is going to be auto-populated. It's going to be Facebook settings are going to be enabled automatically. That's your Open Graph metadata. This is your Twitter card. Just leave that enabled. And Pinterest, this is where you would add that meta tag if you're verified your account on Pinterest, which I highly recommend you do. This is where you're going to want to throw it in here, and then you're going to be able to enable rich pins that way. So pretty simple. And then I want to show you what it appears on your actual blog post. So this is my blog post. This is the post that I'm going to be showing you behind the scenes here, and I want to show you the SEO portion of it. So when you install Yoast, you're going to see down at the bottom your Yoast SEO. If you don't see all of these fields, then you might have this shrunk here, and what you need to do is expand it. So no biggie there. And then you'll see all of these goodies. So you're going to get a preview here. This is showing you what it was going to show like in the search results. And this is where you really want to kind of optimize this, because a big part of getting that traffic is once your post appears in search results, you want people to click through. So you want to work this meta tag here. This is called the meta description, and it's down here. And you're going to see a few things here. I have my focus keyword. If you don't see these, all open, it's because you have to select the edit snippet. So when you edit the snippet, you're going to be able to change your SEO title. You're going to see your slug. You're going to be able to customize this meta description. If you leave it blank, then Yoast is going to pull from the first intro paragraph of your blog post. And then your focus keyword. So this is the area that you really want to focus on here. This is where you would add your keyword. And then below it, you're going to see some suggestions, some improvements that Yoast thinks that you can make, some problems. And I'm going to walk through some of these because some of these you want to pay more attention to than others. And you're going to see your good results. And ideally what you're shooting for here is a green sign over here under the upper right, under Publish, where it says the Y icon and SEO, you want that to say good. That's when you know that you kind of have it at a good place. And again, I'm going to walk through all of this and what I usually do here. Okay, so the first thing is, this is about keyword research too, and I really feel like keyword research is the bigger thing to tackle here. So I want to show you how I do keyword research and how I suggest you do it. I've talked about this before, but I want to dig in a little bit more because I think sometimes it's just easier to see it. So I use KW Finder. I highly recommend it. If you guys aren't already using it, I'm going to include a link below this video so that you can get started with it. I have the pro version, so I do pay for this. I pay for this monthly. I started out on the free plan, and I felt like I was doing more searches than I was able to do within 24 hours. You can definitely get started with KW Finder for free. And you're going to get up to 5 searches for a day. So depending on how many searches you're doing, then, accordingly, you might want to upgrade. I used to use Keyword Planner, and you can certainly use that too. I've just found it's harder to get the data that you need without an AdWords account. And I'm not quite sure, how good that info is at this point. For me, that's just a personal preference. So I'm using KW Finder a lot, and I want to show you what this is all about here. So this is social media strategy is the keyword that I'm going for with this blog post, social media strategy. And I want to show you what's involved here. And part of this is that I had created this blog post before I really started digging into SEO. And so this is one of the things that happens when you start backpedaling and trying to optimize your post after, is that you find that, maybe this was a very hard keyword to rank for, and you're going to have to do a lot of work to have that happen. So moving forward, what you want to do is you want to do your research before, ahead of time, so you know exactly what you're up against with any keyword, and make sure that you're finding the best keyword, and make sure that you're up to the task. So some keywords are harder to rank than others, and KW Finder is going to show you that right here. So if you type in social media strategy, you'll see right here, this is a hard one to rank for. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to want to be tip-top shape on your on-page SEO, and you're also going to have to build some backlinks. So when it's a hard word to rank for, you have more work to do. And you also want to get, as many social shares, as many backlinks. You want to interlink. You want to do all of that on-page SEO stuff. And the other thing that you'll notice down here is that you're going to find relevant keywords, related keywords that you would also want to include in your blog post. So these, I'd say these top 5 are good ones: social media strategy, social media marketing strategy, and so on. So these would all be ones that you would look for. You want to look for related keywords, and ideally those are going to be in the easier range, and you can include them in your blog post. Now, you're not going to necessarily rank for these keywords, the related keywords, but what you're doing is you're giving Google context. You're letting it know more and more what your blog post is about, so that when it has an opportunity to rank you for your target keyword, it will be more likely to do that. Okay, so this is a tough keyword to rank for. I'm still trying to rank for it. I have a little bit more work to do, but this is one keyword. I want to show you a couple other keywords. Time blocking template happens to be a blog post that I have, and it's also one that I'm ranking for, and you can see that this is a little bit easier to rank for. You can see the keyword difficulty here, and KW Finder is going to tell you right here if it's possible, if it's hard. And so I find that this is something I've said over and over, but 30 and under is a kind of a sweet spot. You can go for that. 30 and under in terms of keyword difficulty, you're going to want to go ahead and go for that keyword. If you find them higher than that, like that social media strategy one, if you feel like it's relevant for your audience and that you can drive a lot of traffic to it from social media, and you're able to put in the time to guest post and do things like that to get those backlinks, maybe get on some podcasts, things like that, create an infographic, then by all means go for these keywords. But I still wouldn't expect page 1 rankings without doing, a lot of work here. So that's just, something to keep in mind, that the lower the better. And you can see over here, Facebook group cover photo. This is another blog post that I have, and this is a much easier to rank keyword, and I'm up here, I'm ranking here. So that's how you should approach it. And even when you find an easier keyword, these can fluctuate all the time. I've seen some pretty crazy swings here. So if you go into KW Finder 1 month, don't expect to see the same keyword score here the next month. Things are changing. So I've seen 10-point difference here between a keyword that started out seeming like it was simple, and then it became hard, just because I guess more people are creating blog posts around that. So what does that mean that you should do? It means that you want to have the best piece of content you can possibly have all the time. That should be just what you're doing. You want to make sure that yours can trump other people's. You want to add visuals, add images. I've seen people create custom pages that they're trying to rank for their blog posts. And what I mean by that is that they get rid of the sidebar. They actually make it look like it is a full-blown, fully designed page with section breaks and colored backgrounds and graphic interpretations and everything. So I'm not saying that you have to do that for everything, but I just want to kind of underscore here that it's super, super important to be creating the best, most in-depth content you can possibly create that will be helpful to your audience all the time, because this changes. So once you even get a ranking, you're not guaranteed that spot. So just keep that in mind too. All right, so back to this. So that's the overall keyword research. And remember these related keywords, right? Because we're going to start adding them into the blog post. Okay, so the first thing that I do really doesn't have to do with Yoast SEO. The first thing that I do is I go through and I make sure that my keyword is as high up on the page to begin with as possible. Now, Yoast SEO is going to recommend that you put it in the first paragraph. That's not totally necessary. If you look down here at the bottom where the Yoast is, this is one of the problem areas it's telling me I have. It doesn't appear in the first paragraph. It likes it right there in the first paragraph. If it works for me, I'll put it in the first paragraph, but I don't like any of my content to sound like I'm just trying to rank for the search engine. So I put it in the second paragraph, but you'll see it's really within the first few words. I think this is the bigger thing. If you can get it in the first 100, 150 words, that's more important. And you'll notice here that what I've done is I've used an H2 tag, which is another thing that you want to do when you can. Include the keyword in your H2 tags as much as well, I'm going to back up here. Not as much as possible. I've been penalized for adding it too many times. If you can add it to one subheading, that's perfectly fine. If you can't, if it doesn't make sense, don't push for it. Just integrate it throughout your content. Now you'll notice the other thing down here is that Yoast is telling me I'm not using this keyword enough. My keyword density is 0.2%. Too low, the focus keyword was found 7 times. I personally feel like 7 times is more than enough, so I don't worry about this either. The reason is because I have those related keywords in here, and you will also get flagged if you use what's called keyword stuffing. So you're also going to get flagged here by Google, and remember, just because we've installed the Yoast SEO plugin does not mean that you're going to rank. Yoast is just giving you prompts and giving you some guidance. It doesn't mean that you're all good and done and you're perfect in terms of Google's eyes. So just keep that in mind. You have to start using your own education about SEO and keyword research and everything that you're doing, and let that override Yoast SEO at times. So, if you can include the keyword, let's say this is close to a 3,000 word post and I have it in here 7 times. So if you include the keyword, I'd say 3 times for every 1,000 words, I think you're good, and then also add those related keywords. I have those related keywords throughout here. I don't know where they are right now, but I definitely go back and I grab these related keywords and I put them throughout the content as well. So I try to use those, one related keyword, let's say every section here. So if you're breaking your blog post down in sections, maybe you have steps or a how-to post, or you have different sections, paragraphs, then incorporate those related keywords and use your primary keyword. Try to use it in a subheading, use it in the first 100 to 150 words, use it again at the bottom in your conclusion, and use it a couple times throughout. But don't try to overstuff it, okay? That's a big deal. Okay, and then the other thing that I do is I'll go through and I will make sure that I have keywords in my images. So the way that my blog post is structured here is I use a pin image, but it's not my featured image in WordPress. So my featured image is the image that you see on my blog post landing page, and they are horizontal in orientation. I just prefer that on the dashboard there. So I have 2 different things that I do. So I will use in this featured image here, you'll see that I have social media strategy plan. I've added another keyword to it. So this is like one of those related keywords, okay, in my featured image. And then in my pin image, I will have social media strategy. I'll have my target keyword there. And the reason that I do this is because I'm trying to rank in Pinterest too. So it's important to have your primary keyword in your pin image as well. So most people, this is fine because your pin image is your featured image, and so it's all the same image. So you can just use your target keyword there. Okay, so those are considered feature and primary images. Your first image, this is my first image here. It appears right here, and that's the one with the keyword, and then also on my blog landing page, that horizontal version, which is the featured one, has that same keyword. In a different, I use a related keyword actually, okay? So, and then when you get into the secondary images, if you scroll down, you do want to include images in your blogging. Make sure that you include them, and in the secondary images, what you want to do is, the keyword is in here again, okay? So I have my target keyword in there again, but you don't want to overdo it here. You want to change it up. So in here, I say Pinterest marketing strategy. This is all giving Google context for your blog post. Sample social media marketing plan. That's another one of those related keywords. So in your secondary images, that's what I call these, beyond the featured image and beyond that pin image. These are all secondary images that you're using to help people digest your content, understand what your blog post is about. Use your related keywords in those secondary images. And then that's about it for the content part of it. Then I'll come down and I will look at what Yoast is telling me. Okay, so it's in two of those headings. The images do contain alt attributes, and that's where you want to put that keyword. So it's in the alt attribute. And by the way, your images should also contain a variation of your keyword. Your images should include your related keyword, and your main image, your featured image, should include your target keyword. Okay, the image name itself, that's important. Okay, so then the other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure, and most people are already doing this, but you definitely want to interlink. So find spots in here where you can say related posts, or just kind of interlink and drive people to, you know, one of your other blog posts. Maybe I have to go back and optimize it. All right, so I have one here. I could probably add in a couple more interlinks now that I have more posts that are related to this. So that's one thing, just looking at this, that I would do. But I do have it a couple times. This post is for you. And you also can link out to high domain authority websites. So that means that you want to have external links. In addition to your internal links, you want external links that are going out to websites with a high DA. Now, I've gone over this before too. You can use Moz Open Site Explorer for a little bit of time now. I just got an email that they're changing, and I think they're going to premium, but you can still use it as of today. You can go and you can check the domain authority of external sites. So if it's relevant, then you want to link out to somebody else. You know, if it's relevant to the section here, like Board Booster is, and that's a decent site, and Tailwind is too, then you want to start building. That's a way to, you know, it's another way to indicate to Google that you're a high quality website. This is a high quality post because you're linking externally to high quality websites. So you want to use that Open Site Explorer. I'm going to dig up some other tools now that that's gone, and I'll keep you posted on that. But as of right now, you can use it, and you can see the domain authority of any website. You can see the page authority too. So use that tool, strategically add some external links in here, and then you know, continue looking at some of the prompts that SEO has for you, the SEO title. Okay, I didn't even cover that yet, so here we go. Your SEO title is this. This is your SEO title. It's also your meta title. This is the title that's going to appear in Google. Now, ideally, you want this to be the same as the title of your actual blog post. What I mean by that is this is your title. This is your title of your actual blog post. Once you install Yoast SEO, you will have the ability to add another title here, and you want to make sure that your keyword is in there also. So you can use the same title, you can use a variation of it. I found that that really doesn't matter too much. I'm actually kind of on the fence with that, whether or not they have to be matchy the same exact thing, but they definitely both have to use that keyword. They have to use your target keyword. So make sure when you edit the snippet that it's in there. You want your target keyword in your permalink. That's your URL, and that is right up here. So, and Yoast is going to walk you through all this. This is all the stuff you have to do, okay? You have to add your keyword to your content. You have to add your target keyword to your permalink, and you have to add it to both your title here and your SEO title, okay? Your SEO title down here. And then you also want to make sure that it's in your meta description. Now, in my meta description, I have related keywords too: social media marketing strategy and social media strategy. Okay, so just find a good mix where you feel like people are going to be able to click through, because remember, this is going to be on the search results, and you want to make people really want to click. And you also want to make Google happy. And I've had, SEO people actually work on my site, and they just change up the text until it sounds like I'm just spamming it with keywords, and it doesn't make any sense. So, with everything that you're doing, you have to remember that we are humans, and everybody, wants to feel like we're talking to them in an authentic and genuine way. So don't overstuff, just get it in there somehow. And then we come down here, focus keyword. And you also will get a prompt if you've used this keyword before. So the more that you blog, you may be finding yourself trying to go for the same keywords, and Yoast is going to let you know. That's definitely not something you want to do. That's going to confuse Google, and you're going to wind up having one post trump the other. I've had that happen before, where I created a blog post on blog post titles, blog post checklist before you publish, and then I did another blog post on blog post checklist after you published, and I went for 2 different keywords, and one of them ranks and the other one just Google doesn't know what to do with it because they're just too similar. So even though there were different keywords, one of them contained the other keyword, so I was going for blog checklist in one, and then the other one blog post checklist, and the one that ranks is blog checklist because blog post checklist, Google got confused. So just a heads up that you don't want to be incorporating the same keywords in another keyword that you're trying to target for. So Google is going to get really whacked out about that. And then I think that you should be good to go. So we have it in the meta description. It appears in 2 out of 16 of the subheadings, if you can get it in the subheadings. Images contain alt tags. And, sometimes Yoast will give you very strange things. Like here it's saying the meta description has been specified, but it doesn't contain the focus keyword. Well, I can see right here that it does, so I'm not going to worry myself about that. Remember, Yoast is just giving you guidelines. It's not Google. So Google is going to see that the keyword is in here, and everything's going to be fine. So those are my tips. Make sure that you categorize it. Don't leave it as an uncategorized blog post. That's not going to be good. And there you go. So that shows you some of my settings and how I approach it, and also the keyword research. So if you have any questions to this, definitely let me know, and I'll be glad to clarify anything. And I'll see you next time.